This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's this time of the week that we like to say, welcome to Eejits of the World! With you,
Glenn Wall and you,
Andrew Maxwell. And what a cornucopia of clowns we have for you this week. We have the Eejits of
American campaigning.
We have the Eejits of dance shows.
And we have the Eejits of vegetable verbosity.
Well. Come inside. So, Mr. Glenn, do you have a story for me?
I do. Eric Hovde, a Republican politician in America, has decided he wants to make fat people pay extra for health care.
Oh, that's a winner.
He made the mistake of, during a campaign in 2012, actually, he said he was going to make fat people pay more for their health insurance as sort of a chubby tax.
Wow. This would be in Wisconsin, otherwise known as the Cheeseheads.
The cheese state.
An entire state of cheese.
They do wear blocks of cheese on their head because it's the cheese state. So he made a massive mistake. he didn't try this in Florida or California, where it's not the cheese state. He didn't. Even New Jersey's the gardening state.
Yeah. There's fat people all across America. But he decided to try this out in a very northerly state with long, cold, dark winters where they scoff dairy products all day long. Come back to this man.
Yeah.
Eric Hovde. Republican candidate for the United States Senate.
Yeah. Has
decided to run in one of the fattest states in the Union, which is...
Yeah, I don't even think you should call it running there. He's waddling. He's waddling for Congress.
I think you find he's on the travelator for Congress.
He's on the rascal to Congress.
Have you seen? So you got to see this guy. So Eric Hovde,
he's not helping himself. He's a fit guy.
What he actually looks like, and it's weird because half the footage we could find of Eric Hovde, he's a multi-millionaire who is, needless to say, his business is based in some crappy island in the Caribbean.
Bermuda.
Well, Bermuda's not crappy, and it's not in the Caribbean. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a tax dodger. Half the footage he's got no moustache, and half the footage of Eric Hovde he has a moustache, and when he has the moustache he looks like a really mean version of Neville Chamberlain. It's really not so distracting. God, look at he looks like a Neville Chamberlain that after went, I hold in my hand peace in our time, and then as he leaving the airport he just kicked a dog. Just booted a dog for no reason. Prime Minister, shut up. I hate Dachshunds. But Eric Hovde is not a fat man. He looks like he's full triathlon dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's gone triathlon. The lycra around his genitals has gone to his brain. That's what's happened there. So now he thinks he can win an election in a state full of fat fuckers by going, I'm going to tax you, fat bastards.
Yeah, and his Tammy or Cammy Robinson, his opponent,
Yes.
has made one of those political ads just to attack him, and it's shocking. Like, this is how this came onto my radar. I was watching the Milwaukee Brewers in the playoffs, and it's almost like a Saturday Night Live ad.
Milwaukee Brewers are a
Baseball team in Wisconsin.
Gotcha. Well, that's not going to keep the weight down if your baseball team is sponsored by beer.
The Milwaukee beer.
Well, please welcome to the pitch, the Milwaukee pretzels. Chocolate and yogurt dipped pretzels. Really, the Milwaukee
They'll be
Brewers.
playing the turkey drippings.
Coming to town is the Cincinnati cookie dough. Sick of waiting for a cookie to bake? Eat it as nature intended. Raw.
Unpasteurized cookie.
Unpasteurized cookie. Straight off the factory floor. The blonde hair in it lets you know you're in Wisconsin.
Yeah. So they get this attack ad up, and I'm just like...
This is the Democrats doing an attack ad
Democrats.
against the Republican. The fat-bashing Republican is so insanely stupid.
Yeah, and it starts out, there's a larger woman, and she's working as a chef. Well, she's in the kitchen. I don't know if she's undercover, if that's how she sneaks in there.
She is the food equivalent of a man reading a paper in the playground. We hope there's a child.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's making the number one error in drug dealing. She is getting high off her own supply.
Okay. Yes, she is a larger lady who is hiding. She is hiding some of her largeness by hiding behind a wall.
Yeah, they put her in one of those little, like, they got her in the serving hatch. So you have no idea how large and she's like, Eric Hovde wants to know how much I weigh. I'm like, I don't think he's ever asked that.
I don't think he does. We're not at the fairground.
No. If Eric Hovde wants to know how much I weigh, he can go ask the circus barker who guessed it last week.
Turns out, she also, the name Hovde, for whatever reason, I'm sorry, none of this is mature. We apologize in advance, but she is slightly out of breath saying his name. Eric Hovde.
And this is what and the people in the ads just keep getting bigger and bigger. Eric Hovde said what? I'll come down there and I'll butter him up and I'll toast him. You have no right. You have no right. This is America, Eric Hovde. Man wants to eat a handful of lard on his way to work. God damn it, Eric Hovde. What business is it of yours?
If I want to grease up my steering wheel with gravel, man want to lick a steering wheel while he in traffic? What's wrong with that? It's America. Eric Hovde. Come and lick my steering wheel with me. The gravy froze overnight. I can't lick all this gravy myself. I'm sorry. We're not mature men.
Eric Hovde, if a man wants to put some soda in his IV and drive around like that, goddamn business of yours.
If I want sparkling blood, what's it got to do with you?
Eric Hovde, some men put a Twinkie in their mouth before they go to bed and just let it dissolve. And that's none of your business. That's the business between Jesus, me, and that Twinkie. You stay out of it, Eric Hovde.
Jesus, me and the Twinkie. I can think of a certain South Carolina Republican governor whose biography, when he finally loses his seat, is definitely going to be Jesus, me and the Twinkie. I think you know who we're talking about, Lindsay. But you've got to see this ad. I'm sorry, but they just keep getting bigger. They're the last dude. Oh, you should see this guy. He's very much an Eric Hobney. What is wrong with you?
Wisconsin Russian dolls.
Wisconsin Russian dolls. I just keep getting bigger. This last dude goes, Eric Hobner, what is wrong with you? And if you've got to see this dude, he looks like a witch cursed a life raft to come alive.
Beauty and the Beast.
I mean, this guy, he is like, he should be hanging off the side of it like a cruise liner. Like, if this dude had been in Titanic, DiCaprio would have lived, man. Not only he would have lived, all 1,500 poor Irish people in the basement would have lived. Like, oh God! But on the other side, I mean, he did, Eric Hofty, he did make the speech that is now in the attack ad now from about 10 years ago, before we had Ozempic and Wegovy. You know, there is now ways of fighting disabilitating levels of obesity.
Yeah, but you'd have to pay more for your health care.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to pay like an add-on to get... I'm pretty sure...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
America's a Calvinist society. People must be punished for fun. You know what I mean? I do, like, I'm all in favour, as a middle-aged man, I'm all in favour of exercise. You should look after yourself, respect fruit, vegetables and pulses, make them the largest part of your diet. But I also love falling asleep with chocolate in my mouth. I love eating treats late at night. Everybody knows that about me. But I do feel sorry for big people in America. Like, I mean, it's a case of, you know what I mean, it's like they've legalized weed in every liberal democratic state in the union. There's super-powered marijuana everywhere. There's delicious junk food everywhere. And yet at the exact same time, the American elite are like, you fat bastards. We've given you all the marijuana and treats in the world. And what did you go and do? You went and got fat, didn't you? You know what I mean? It's like going, we every day we lay out this trail of candy deep into the woods, but children keep going missing.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
We just keep feeding them and they just keep eating. And all of a sudden you find yourself in an attack ad. It's just your eye coming through a nautical window. Eric Hobney.
I got this crazy old bastard and his sidekick called Queequeg.
Eric Hobney, I've been attacked at sea 3 times now. All I'm trying to do is just migrate.
I'm just going to warmer waters for the winter, God damn it, Eric. Anyway, we good luck to you. The truth of the matter is, it's all completely academic, because the seat Eric Hofty's running for the Republican Party is the Democratic Party's longest held seat.
Wow.
Did you know that? They've held it since the 1950s.
Maybe they just can't get their ass out of
it. Tammy's ass is stuck in the Senate seat. That's why American politics is so uncompetitive. Half the congressmen's asses are just melted into the seats. Technically, I've lost
Goddamn front of democracy. Well, what are we gonna do?
You're in the front of democracy. God damn it, my ass is a back to democracy.
That's why they're so afraid of Ozempic. Don't take that shot away from me. I don't need it.
I know my seat coming competitive. Oh, well. Anyway, hooray for democracy. The Democrats are going to win that seat one way or another. Just for future reference, any future aspirational American politicians, never go against the fat.
No way.
It's like going against the tasty. Never fight the tasty, my friends. All right. Well, fucking great. Great find.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hooray for democracy. Once again, we love democracy.
Yeah.
Now then, are you ready for your next story?
Yeah.
And what an Eejit I have for you, Mr. Glenn.
Okay.
All right. There was that. Let me just look at me notes here for that. Oh. Fucking Eric Hofty.
We're down here at the all-you-can-eat buffet. The Eric Hofty rally, anti-Eric Hofty rally.
We're all the Erics we can eat rally.
We're down at the lineup at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Just trying to get some local flavor on how you feel about Eric Hofty. Eric Hofty.
We're trying to get some feedback, but they won't give the feedback. Once you put the feed on front of them, that's it.
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, we asked for feedback. We didn't even get all the way through feedback. Hey, can we get some feedback? Squash some baby back ribs. That's what I heard.
God damn it, I've seen piglets big as behave like it's Versailles compared to these goddamn cheese heads. All right, okay. All right, let's do this thing. All right. Are you ready for your next story, Mr. Glenn?
Yes.
Oh, what a gem we have for you. Now then. So, let's start off by saying our pal, very funny comedian called Chris McCausland, is presently taking part in Strictly Come Dancing.
Wonderful.
Which is, to the outside world, Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
But not in Brexit Britain. Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, that's spelled Come, by the way. It's a whole different show if you spell that wrong.
Yeah. Do a lot more slipping and sliding.
Strictly, too.
Strictly Come Dancing. If you don't pop, you don't get to stop. we put men in glitter. In V-neck shirts and glitter, and we make them dance until they blow.
It's like the start to fame. You were gonna sweat and jerk and
Remember my name. I came in the third round.
Yeah.
In Rumba Week, I blew my load. Anyway, so our pal, very funny comic, Chris McCausland. Two things you need to know about him. He's a Scouser, so he's a very, very Liverpool man. Actually, three things. Number one, he's very funny.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, number one, he's very funny.
That's all you need to know.
Actually, it's the only thing any comedian gives a shit about.
Yeah.
He's very funny. He's from Liverpool, and he's also blind. Right?
Happens to be blind.
Happens to be blind. Chris is not a blind comedian. He is a comedian who happens to be blind. This guy's been given absolutely zero fucking breaks in our game because of his lack of sightedness. He to this day trudges up and down the circuit along with schmucks like me and Mr. Glenn. He asked for absolutely no fucking favours or breaks. And most importantly for us comedians, he's funny.
Every due has been paid. Every due. And
absolutely.
a couple he didn't probably have to, but he did it anyway.
100%. Right. Anyway, so he's a proper 100% comic, and he's on Strictly Come Dancing this week. Because he's blind, he can't see his own cock, so somebody has to wank him.
Dear Lord.
That's the BBC. They're the rules. They're the rules. They've got disgraced newsreaders jerking him off in a tent.
Oh my God. Who does he think it is?
I don't know. You ask.
Is this Holly Willoughby? Yeah, sure.
Is it Holly Willoughby? Very hairy hands. She got hairy hands. Anyway, probably none of that will make it. Now then. So Chris is on Strictly Come Dancing. He's doing the usual shtick with all the other fucking news readers and retired cricketers. So,
And the Go Compare guy for some reason.
and the Go Compare. Is it Go Compare? Anyway, whatever. You told me the Welsh opera dude.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
He's not the opera. He's the Go Compare guy.
He's the Go Compare.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, he sang once in Italy. Ah, fuck off. You're the Go Compare
Haven't
guy.
we all?
Yeah.
As we've tasted that fucking spaghetti for the first time. Mamma mia! What have I been eating? Dr. Oetker's pizzas, that's what. They're not originally from Italy. Anyway, so Chris is on there. None other than Alan Sugar decides to take to Twitter, and he says, so stupid, I don't know when Strictly Come Dancing are going to run out of contestant gimmicks. I wouldn't be surprised if they had an AI mechanical robot next year. So stupid. So much stupid in one sentence.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't be disappointed if they had a dancing robot. Like let's just put it there.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's the worst thing he could think of in his life. I wouldn't be surprised if science advanced to a point where we can make a robot dance for our entertainment. Disgusting.
Yes. First we treat the blind as humans.
Yeah.
Next thing we'll have to treat the robots like humans. But also like, Jesus, Sugar, tell me you're an old fuck without telling me you're an old fuck. An AI mechanical robot.
Like an automaton. Oh, wind them up, watch them dance.
Yes. Look at the mechanical Turk.
Next to be
Kirk.
next to be a piano with no player. It'll just play on its own.
Mechanical robot. What's wrong with you, dude? How old are you? This guy, Alan Sugar, originally became famous, made his money by knocking out a crap computer.
Eddie.
Yeah. Amstrad was his company.
Right.
Yes.
Could he, and
Those computers no longer exist.
and did it make a could it do a funny dance on
couldn't.
TV?
No. He just sold them. I've got a mechanical box. Just sold them down the market. Roman Road Market in East London. Come on. Who wants a mechanical box? Match. 50 quid
Yeah,
for
the
you.
obvious shill in there. Well, I'd pay up to £3,000 for that. Well, come on, baby, crawl, you dough boy.
Roll up, Alan Sugar's mechanical boxes. Cool. I've heard they can talk to women in the other countries. One day. Not now. People with better mechanical boxes in America are going to do that. This one just goes beep. Cool.
That'll do. What kind of beat?
5 different types of beep. Ridiculous. So ridiculous. An AI mechanical robot. So great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Christy comes back with, I'm sorry my gimmick offends you.
Gimmick.
Oh, almighty Lord. Hashtag, you're tired.
Excellent.
Nice. There you go.
See, there you go.
The guy's done you with actual material.
Yeah.
Yeah? He's actually, that is, panel show quality material.
That's right.
Way more of a classy burn than you deserve, Sugar. Like, bear in mind, Alan Sugar is mostly famous for being the British host of The Apprentice.
Yeah. Did he come up with that idea himself?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
I don't, the beep in the... The robot beep didn't come up with that.
You're so dumb. You have to steal ideas from Donald Trump. Wow.
Where'd you get your hairy hair from the back of your fucking neck and wrap it around your head, Sugar? Rubbish. Absolute rubbish, you old rubbish fucker. Like,
He didn't even come up with his own, like, you're fired. He was just like, okay, Alan, Donald Trump says you're fired, so what are you going to do?
You're fired.
No, you got to come up like,
You're fired. Get out of my magic box that goes beep. I wouldn't mind with The Apprentice. Actually, I don't know which way it goes around, whether this was the original or it was a Dutch show. I don't know whether... Either way, I mean,
It was, he didn't start it.
Oh, Alan Sugar definitely didn't come up with The Apprentice.
No.
Right? I don't know who did, but I strongly doubt that. And more importantly, here's the thing that I can't stand about The Apprentice. And Alan Sugar is meant to be a more serious individual than the clown show that is Trump. The premise of the show is that they're finding 10 new wonderful business people. Okay. Here come the business community. Thrusting business people. Have you ever actually watched The Apprentice?
No.
For even 5 minutes. It's just a vehicle for skin drape. You just thank Christ smell-o-vision doesn't exist. Every one of them just looks like the biggest bag of aftershave shite you've ever seen. Just the contents of an all bar one in a commuter belt out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just crap.
Yeah. They look like the people who have their offices in Starbucks.
Yeah.
Those fucking people. I went in one today, and it was like I walked into an office. Like everybody was just doing their work, but it gives it a library feel. And I'm like, have a fucking office. This is a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I feel like just walking around farting. Here we go. Here's farting Glenn.
Well, I'm glad that you feel like that, because as a 50-year-old man, that's happening anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't get in trouble for that. You're just doing un-office things like, oh, it's a coffee shop.
Yep.
Probably shouldn't be doing that in here either, but
if I want to tell the big titty joke to Susan by the water cooler again. I suppose it is an HR-free office, isn't it?
Or maybe a Starbucks is going to have like HR, like they've got like
just calling out names off coffee cups. George, you're fired.
Alan Sugar.
So rubbish. But also, I've always found, of all things to be prejudiced about, being prejudiced against disabled people is mental, right? I mean, all prejudice is mental, don't get me wrong, right? But it's so insane, because it's not like, say if you're race A and you're prejudiced against race B, right? You're never going to become race B, whereas there isn't disabled people and not disabled people in this world. There's just disabled people and people who aren't disabled yet.
Yeah.
Yeah? We all end up disabled in some way. It's the aging process.
Yeah.
Yeah? You're not like...
We break down.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's that sort of thing of, like... And Alan Sugar has got to be, like... I mean, he is not a young spring chicken, like... I mean, he was selling his beep boxes, like, in the 1980s.
We know by mechanical robot he's not young.
He's a mechanical robot. It's so great. And he just threw the words AI in front of that. He has no idea what
that means. He thinks it's Al. Tell you why. All these new super mechanical robots are all called Al.
Where's that?
I'll find out.
Anybody, is it a chauffeur Alan or is it Alistair? Or is it Albert?
Was it me? My one.
Yeah. Hang on. Alan. I stop quite a bit.
Figured it out. I don't beep, so it's not me.
You ask Lady Sugar, I don't beep anymore. I don't beep, I don't throb. It's so ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
what a ridiculous old bag of shit.
Yeah, and then the comments afterwards, I got into it, but again, it's so difficult because there's a guy in there, and he's like, "I love you, Chris, but you know he's right," and it's like, fuck. No, first of all, it doesn't sound like you love Chris. Like, or there's something going on in your own heart. Like you woke up, you're like, God, I love Chris McCausland, but not enough people know that I'm a massive fucking idiot. Maybe some sort of tweet could have
Sorry, mate, I've got you know what I mean? You can't. Chris hasn't asked to be in the, the 100 meters final, the men's event of the Olympics. He's on an effing song and dance show, a literal song and Saturday night song and dance show.
Yeah, and I guarantee I don't even know who any of the other contestants are, but like you said, McCausland has put in the hours. Every due has been paid.
He's
so
also...
if there's the fucking Go Compare guy is on.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to say who's not supposed to be there, get that weird guy off there. For voting people. Is that how it works?
I think it is. Eventually it becomes a very brutal form of democracy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind, but Chris is actually dancing quite well.
Is he?
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah.
Anyway.
Dance like you can't see anyone. That's what they say, isn't
That's
it?
what they say.
That's staying in. Fuck it. Chris,
Okay.
I said it.
Yeah, you know, mate.
Yeah. Oh, there was one.
Oh, you
there's
watch
one
out. Chris
thing-
is going to give your face a good feeling.
Well, there's one thing I didn't say to Chris once, and it haunts me because it would have been really funny. We were in the green room of the Manchester store, and they wanted to do one of the bill photographs.
Right.
Where everybody's on the bill.
Yeah.
And he stood beside me, and he put his arm around me, and because he's blind, he has super feeling in his hands. No, because he put
Did
his
he
hand.
tell you that?
No, well, the way he did, he put his hand on my back, and he went, "Oh my God, that's the hairiest back I've ever felt in my life."
Well, you don't need super feeling to know that, Glenn.
No, but I had like a suit jacket on.
Honestly,
Yeah, so anyway, what I want,
looking like it springs back.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
it's a shag pile.
Sure, but you couldn't feel that through it. He's got
I'm
superpowers.
feeling it now.
Well, anyway, what I wanted to say.
Maybe he is super feeling his hands, but he's got.
It does. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So what I wanted to say when he did that was, "That's not my back." But I never. It would have been perfect, but I never said it. So.
Your greatest regret.
My greatest regret in life that I didn't make fun of Chris's lack of sight that day.
Oh, well. Anyway, we say vote for Chris McCausland.
Yeah.
Dancer, comedian, raconteur, and all-round fucking awesome dude.
And he's thin, so even Wisconsin politicians would like him.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Mr. Glenn, on this slightly shortened episode this week, do you have one more story for me?
Yes, I do. It comes from the world of science.
Oh!
Where science men and women have found out mushrooms can talk to each other, not to us.
I think you'll find we discovered that ages ago.
Yeah.
I believe me and you discovered that at Bestival 25 years ago.
It's still in there on a low-key frequency. They can talk and they have the vocabulary of a 2-year-old. I didn't say whether or not they act like 2-year-olds. Sorry, I would have been there, but I had to turn the car around. My mushrooms were being dicks. And if you make that threat, you got to follow through with it.
Yeah, apparently there's a thing. The mushrooms you see are the bit above ground, and then there's underground. They're all interconnected to each other through a thing called a mycelium. Mycelium, which acts sort of like the equivalent.
It's mycelium.
And they're all talking to each other, and they reckon the mushrooms have a vocabulary of 50 words. Which, by the way, is more Portuguese than English tourists have in the Algarve. A British person who has 50 words of another language is called an ambassador.
Yeah. What they call them to work at the UN. It's an interpreter.
Cerveza, that's one. Porto. No.
Yeah, it's always the ones that just have the O on the end of it. They seem to know those ones the best.
Hotello. Yeah, so it's meant to have a vocabulary of the mushrooms have vocabulary of 50 words, but so they basically have the language skills of a toddler. And then I realised that's why mushrooms keep growing and expanding. Because anytime there's a mushroom beside another mushroom, all they're saying, they're looking at each other going, yucky! You're yucky!
So, do we have to keep them away from books? Like, if they grew in a library, are they going to get smarter?
What's it called? What's that fucking language app everybody's on now?
Duolingo. Yeah, keep them away from their phones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't trust mushrooms. I don't trust octopus. I think they're all in on it.
They're all in there. What about snails and slugs?
No, I don't like them. I've ruined my slug's life. Slug life. Do you know slugs cannot cross copper?
Slightly electrified copper, I believe. You've got to put a charge in it.
That is not true. That is not true. I got some copper tape, and because I was having problems with slugs in my house. They were just
in the house.
Yeah.
I seem to recall some episodes back of Eejits of the World. You said you had an amorous slug that kept making love to a little doorstop ragdoll.
I know.
Is that correct?
Yes, and that ragdoll's disappeared. That's another story for another time. But I've now figured out where the slugs were coming from. They're getting in through the kitchen. I don't know who gave them a key, but I got this copper tape and I put it around the doorway almost like a demon trap, like no vampires can get through this door if you bless it with holy water. And I come and I find there's these little slugs and they can't go across it. They're there like vampires who haven't been invited in.
And uninvited vampires.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It really works.
And do they look forlorn or?
Oh, they're sad. They're faster than you think too.
Of course, all we got to compare is like a snail. And everybody knows a car is faster than a caravan.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. You can overtake a caravan. You can't necessarily overtake a Skoda. They got some poke in them, the engines.
Yeah.
That's a Volkswagen engine underneath there.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been killing the slugs. Do you know what I did? And I don't know if I have to do this anymore, but it's just the way I've been doing it. I put them in beer. Because somebody said if you put beer out, the slugs drink it and they die. And that never happened.
They got rowdy, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they took my car. Boy, they can go fast. They can go fast at that point.
You better believe it. They wanted to go to Lettuce Fest.
Yeah. So I had this. I'd opened a beer, and I don't drink anymore. But I've got a 6-pack in my fridge because I did like a brewery show.
Right.
And now I'm just using beer to kill slugs. That's the upshot of my
And
life.
have you found any of them like belly up? Like, what does a dead slug look like?
Oh, they look gross. And if you drop them in beer, they like excrete themselves. Like they're like, we are in the wrong spot. And it's really harrowing to see them die. But I don't.
You give them heroin?
I do. What? Something's got to take the edge off it. Hey, me and the slugs both do a little, just a little maintenance shot.
Just into the eye.
Yeah, he's able to just expand his eye all the way up to the syringe. Come on. Yeah, suckling at the end of the syringe with his weird slug eye.
So how many slugs have passed away in this manner?
There was one night I caught like 5 of them, and now there's only been little ones coming back, and but they can't get over the magic door. And I just think that's so weird. Like, why can't they go over copper? What benefit does that have?
I think it might hold a tiny charge, and it's zipping them.
Really?
I think so. I think that might be it.
But this is just tape that I don't put any zip into it.
Well, I don't know. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on with them slugs.
It made me think that maybe there may be another realm inside atoms, and that's why they explode when you split them, because it's just the way of like people like whatever's alive inside atoms is like, well, we don't want humans in here. So it's like their version. It's our version of copper. Like, stay away, get out of the atom.
You think it just gets weirder and smaller as we go down?
Yeah,
and that's, well, I mean, in that context, it makes sense that mushrooms can talk to each other.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw another study. Apparently, trees talk to each other using the mycelium network.
Well, some of those trees in Canada tell big fat lies, because that's not how I was doing in the woods. Yeah, we got lying trees in Canada too.
We've got a bunch of blabbermouth trees in Canada. Trees that don't know how to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, trees who I know where they are and they can't run away. So why don't you shut up?
Yeah, but it's genuinely true. The trees can talk to each other.
Yeah. Well, do you know grass, the reason it smells so good when it's cut is because it's screaming. I think it's trying to warn other grass that it's been cut, or it's not. The grass isn't happy when it smells that nice. That's the way of
few things are delighted to be mowed. You know? I can tell you, quite a lot of people like to be ploughed, but not mowed. People don't like to be. Few people like to be threshed.
Yeah, yeah,
but not
There's
mowed.
a couple of websites for that,
but not mowed.
No,
a lot of people like to be hoed, but not mowed. So there you go. So next time you're it's weird though, mushrooms. I eat them.
Yeah, I feel good about that too, because I don't trust them.
I only like them in a risotto though.
Wow.
Because that's your black truffle mushroom that I know has been hunted by a pig.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question.
I don't know why that's important to me, but it very is important to me.
Yeah.
That an avarice pig has found my dinner.
And you've taken a pig's dinner. Like the pig thought, oh, great, I got another truffle. I'm really excited about it.
Italian pig. Finally, I get one. For me.
No, you
Come back, Luigi.
Here's the question I pose to you, and maybe more to the vegans out there. Are you going to continue to eat mushrooms now that you know that they're little chatty Cathy's down there?
That's a very good point.
That is a good point.
That is a great point. Is that what you're doing now? Because almost all your corn and stuff, that was little chatty box mushrooms.
Yeah, that's right. Corn? No, like you're hooped. If that's your baseline, because that's even one up than from animals. These mushrooms, they got something to say.
They got 50 words to say it in as well.
Doesn't mean they can't say big things. Just says they can't talk for very long.
That's right.
We don't know what these words are. Some they could be really. Maybe they're just not great at nouns.
It's all verb.
They have a word for flat screen TVs. What? Why? Ennui? That's a mushroom word.
That's how you get them to grow.
That sounds like a mushroom word, actually. I've never pronounced ennui until years after having to hear it many times. I always said, ennui.
You didn't.
I did.
Jesus.
Because I read. I don't talk to anybody. I read these words.
Just like a mushroom. Just like a mushroom.
Maybe that's why I don't.
He stays in the dark. He says the same 50 words.
Yeah. I think a lot of the mushrooms, like, would you stop putting shit on us? Hey, asshole. There's this very specific kind of shit we like, and it's not this. So, shh. I ran out of words.
Well, it does suggest the idea that if the mushrooms have vocabulary of a toddler, they might have tantrums. Was a mushroom tantrum just, don't you put those spores all over that bedroom, little lady. No! Trying to get a shoe on a mushroom.
Oh my God. And every time I'm like, no, the other foot. And then it's like, they put the same foot. I'm like, how many other fucking feet do you have?
Yeah.
How did you put the wrong one up when I said the other foot? Mushroom. I'm talking about mushrooms right now.
You goddamn mushrooms. Get in the car!
Mushrooms in the car is something that could happen to a road comic, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I found mushrooms growing.
Yeah. I could easily, in in any touring comedian, the footwell of the passenger seat is just a layer of diatrus.
You could raise a pig down there.
You could definitely release a pig into a touring comedian's footwell of the passenger seat. There's enough rootling down there.
Do you know I had a mouse in my car for the longest time? I had to put a little live trap out to get the mouse. I had a mouse living in my car.
What?
Yeah. It would go on, do about 15 off the top. A lot of times they didn't want me at the end. Get the mouse back! Shut up! He's in the car.
That mouse was great! Shut up.
That was which one of your mushrooms said that? Come down there. Who ordered a mushroom pizza? That thing won't shut up.
Slaughtered mushroom babies. That's all that's going on.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna order it.
So what? So you caught the mouse?
Yeah.
Was this here or was it in Canada?
It was in Canada.
That all starts to make sense.
My wife at the time had insisted on a live trap because she didn't want to kill the mouse. And that's how we froze a mouse to death.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught a mouse with it. Again, my wife made me catch a mouse with a humane live trap. And we looked into it, and then we had this tricky little mouse in the house. Fat balls, that's what catches them.
Well, then
that's why you're like the fucking Pied Piper of Canada.
That's what it was doing in the car.
Here comes Glenn Fat Balls Wool.
Hey,
You want me to trip you, mice? Yeah, so there's the bird feeder fat balls. That's what mice absolutely love.
a wonderful baseball pitcher, bird feeder fat balls. Remember him from the Oakland Athletics, one of the best mid-relief. Big curly mustache.
He was their last player they bought before Moneyball. Bird feeder fat balls. Still under the old Southern Scout system.
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't grow a mustache if it came in like that, but it didn't stop him. Nope. Looked like a goddamn catfish.
Yeah, so I had a same situation. So live trapping a mouse.
Yeah.
And I caught it, and it turned out, I looked into it, whether we couldn't work out whether the mouse was living in the house or was commuting in and out of the house. And we never really got we never really worked that out. But it did find out that a mouse will have a 2-mile commuter radius. Right? If you release a mouse back to the nearest park, it'll just come straight back to your house.
Yes.
And might meet other mice on the way and they'll be like, where have you been? Well, I've got a house full of hippie suckers around here. We won't get the job done.
Yeah.
Right? So I caught the mouse, live mousey. I felt very good about it. I don't have to kill animals. He was just trying to get about his day, but he couldn't live in my house anymore. So I drove him out into the countryside, checked on me maps till I got over 2 miles, got out to a field, and it was a field that had recently been, ploughed over, so it was open ground. Mm-hmm. And I released my little friend, the mousey, and the mouse, like a little Disney
friend.
Yeah, the little mousey's just started skipping away off across the field, and I just had a moment where I put my hands on my hips and that, just like, job done. And just a hawk scoffed that mouse. And the worst bit was the hawk kind of circled over me by way of thanks. And the last thing I heard was just a heep, heep. And off he went, like Hawk was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, nature.
Well, we don't have a mouse problem anymore because when my wife...
The slugs ate him.
Yeah, the mice and slugs do not get along. Because I now live in the house alone and I don't keep guinea pigs in it. And apparently one of the things that attracts rodents is rodent food. And if you just keep that in your house, then...
Yeah. It's obviously, they're like, shit.
Yeah, I could see why the mice thought, like, we wanted them there. Like, well, they keep these giant versions of us in a cage.
He's clearly got a type. Okay. This guy's clearly into rodents.
Told you that in confidence.
Okay. Well, there you go. Hooray for nature.
Yes.
And science. Thank you, science, for all the sciencing you do and the... learning new things and whatnot. Yeah. Well done, science. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been this week's Eejits of the World. There's new episodes every Wednesday that go out on audio on all the podcasts, and then the full episode and clips from the full episode go out on YouTube and all the socials on Saturday. If whatever your platform is, your YouTubes, your Facebooks, your Instagrams,
your swindles, your bimbops.
All of the above, ladies and gentlemen. If you see our clips, please like, subscribe, comment. It's the algorithm. Follow. And the algorithm loves all that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have some fantastic news for you. Do you like Eejits of the world?
Well, we do, yes.
Well, we do,
They say.
We do it every week. It's quite the commitment.
I was speaking for them.
Yes. Well, we're going to do Eejits of the World live, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
On the 20th of this month at the Cheerful Earful Comedy Podcast Festival.
We're not AI.
We will be at the Bedford, which is a big old wonderful boozer in Balham, South London, on
20th.
the 20th. The 20th.
Soon.
Coming up next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It'll only be our third ever foray into live Eejits of the World. If you're about, we'd love you to come and join us.
We'll see you there.
See you there. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a Pod People production.
Pod People Production.
Pod People production.